Let me, no, I'm just gonna go delete the overlap on that. That was my bad. So I'm here. I'm assuming that it's going live again right now. I'm just going to go look back at that and delete the whatever I just accidentally undid. So what was I saying? Thank you guys, for understanding that, yeah, we're just here, and, yeah, it's not that I haven't, wanted to be making content recently. I just kind of got to a point where I realized, like, the effort didn't feel worth it. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't feel like my channel was growing at a reciprocal rate to the effort that I felt like I was putting in. And, it just had to draw back from it for a little while and, really just try to get my mind wrapped around what I need to do in other places in my life, because I was putting a lot of effort into this and it just wasn't growing, and then I was like seeing my other friends start channels and stuff, and then their channels would like blow up instantly and become bigger than mine, and I'm not trying to like compare myself because I'm happy for them, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm like, why am I trying so hard? Like in the end of the day, that's still a thing, right? So that was it was one of those things, just that, I had to say to myself eventually, like, the amount of effort that I'm putting in is not good for me right now. Like, in some way, shape, or form, so, yeah, I drew back from it, and I don't care. And I just hope that people understand that it's not much deeper than that. But, yeah, let me look at the chat. I know we had Ashley saying something. Yeah, I haven't really been in the loop too much recently. Like, I'm still in the scene, right? Like, I still post on Twitter and stuff, I guess. No, you're good. I didn't see, like, well, what am I trying to say? I had hotkeys on, so, I accidentally had the hotkey set to stop the stream when I clicked a certain button, and then I clicked the button, and it, like, ended the stream before I saw your message the first time, so, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm still in the community. I mean, like, I still post on Twitter and stuff, even though I think I project my negativity too much, obviously, so the amount that I project my negativity on Twitter, I think seems like it goes hand in hand with me not making as much content, but they're really kind of separate things, right? Like, I'm just trying to, like, well, they come from the same place, but they're separate things, right? Because they both stem from me just trying to get the rest of my life together, right? And yeah, so, doing the jewelry stuff has been going well recently. I'm definitely trying to focus more. Sorry, I have a knot in my hair right I've been focusing more on the jewelry stuff, and that's been going pretty well. Just not feeling super motivated to make content for the reasons I said recently. And then trying to get out of also being openly negative, or being open about my life in a way that seems negative on Twitter. Because I am still a part of the scene, you know. And I don't think that being negative is, or being open about negativity is always good when people don't understand it. Because it makes it seem like it's the community and not me sometimes. And I don't want to make the community enjoy itself less because I need someone to like talk to or something, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I intended to necessarily get into this stuff right away. I just was like thinking about the fact that I don't stream a lot recently, and I've been feeling good, I guess, so, or better, which makes me feel fine with being open, you know? Like, to me, I don't feel like I'm being negative right now. I'm just being, like, well explained. But what was I really trying to say? Yeah, like, I do want to still be a part of the VGC community, you know? And for that reason, like, I feel like it'd probably be best to just try to focus on not trying to have someone to talk to about my life, and just being a positive part of the community and or interacting with the community positively. Because yeah, I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Just because, yeah, like, I am still part of the community, and, you know, I went to Pittsburgh, had a good time. Like, every time I actually do, like, reinsert myself into the community, I always, like, remember, you know, that it is a very good place, and I have friends, and pretty much anyone who doesn't like me in the community, it's either for misunderstandings or because I was too open about my negativity, and some people don't like that because they're also going through stuff that they feel like they want to talk about, that they don't talk about. And then, or just people don't know me, right? So, you know, I don't think if I ever feel like people don't like me, like, it's necessarily, like, always founded, you know? I think I have a pretty solid understanding of the situation, and, like, what am I trying to say? And, like, I know that if I do want to just start making content again, like, I can, you know? And so I'm not, like, keeping myself away from making content again, like, because I don't think the effort's worth it, or I think people won't support me because, like, not only have I felt unsupported on the channel, but, like, I also think, like, I've at times been too open about my negativity with the scene, which made them see me negatively, or made me seem negative, like, you know what I mean? But I know that, like, at some point that stuff all becomes irrelevant, like, when it comes down to the people who really know you and, like, moving forward, right? So, like, at some point, you know, it's just like, if you want to keep playing Pokemon, you keep playing Pokemon, you know. Sorry, yeah, I'm not like looking at the chat very much. I'm just kind of like riffing, because I'm trying to find what my point is. Kind of like, it's like, where am I going with this? Like, you know. Yeah, I have a very strong want to win as well. And I like, I haven't gotten those results yet in person, so I still have like a very strong desire, kind of like you were saying, to like try to push myself to do good in IRL events and, you know, keep going, because I know I have a good time every time I go to IRL events, you know. And so it's, yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, it's really just a matter of like, what do I want, you know, and just being okay with the reality that it's my own journey in the end of the day. And it's like, if I want to keep making content, I can do that. I can do it at my own pace, you know. No one needs to, it doesn't have to be too much content or too little content for anyone. I can just kind of do it when I want to. And same with going to in-person events, you know, like, if I want to go, I can go. And it's nice to know that all the dumb negative thoughts that I have sometimes, like, I don't really need to think about that stuff when I go to in-person events, because, like, I know I do have my friends, and, like, thinking about it is what makes it a thing, you know what I mean? So it's like, just push it all out and, you know, just remember that it doesn't have to be like that. And yeah, so I always have a good time, and it's just, it's really just a matter of like being okay with not being able to go to a lot of events right now, and knowing that like I'm not doing it to like keep myself away from them, or like because I feel like I've like painted myself negatively. Like I literally don't have enough money to go to events right now. Like, I actually would like to be going to more events, and like I said, like, it was nice when I went to Pittsburgh to remember, like, you know, not only do I have friends, and the negativity is only like as deep as you make it sometimes, but you know, I can get those results, and like, if anything, I'm getting closer and closer to those results, and it's like, it's a gratifying feeling, but at the same time, like, there's always, you know, the lingering root of the problem, which is like, I'm still doing it by myself. Like, I need to, you know, get to the point where I actually have a team building group if I am gonna get day 2 consistently. Maybe I don't, you know. I was kind of hoping that I would get day 2 before, with a team that I built myself, you know, and like, without, you know, just being able to say like I was able to do it that way, you know, like even though I do want to be able to team build with people, like, it was okay to be at a point where I didn't have anyone to team build with, or like that. It's not necessarily that I didn't quote unquote have anyone to team build with, but like, it's okay to be at a point where I am team building by myself, and like, I still have the potential to get a day 2 that way, right? And I think that Pittsburgh really did like prove that, in the sense that I Yeah, like, at Pittsburgh, I literally missed out on day 2 by, like, 1 move. You know what I'm saying? Like, I I I was 5-1, and then I lost my last 2 rounds, and they were both really good rounds, you know what I mean? So it's like, with this team that I built myself, you know, I literally did almost get my first day 2 at Pittsburgh, and I just missed it by 1 move. It happens, so, you know, I still got the hunger. I still want to get a day 2. It's my real goal for myself. Like, I really just want 1 day 2. And I honestly think that if I had got it at Pittsburgh, it probably wouldn't have felt satisfying. And that's something that I have become more comfortable with the longer that we've gotten away from Pittsburgh. Is just the realization that, like, there's the side of you that is never that in some way doesn't feel satisfied ever, right? And that, like, even if I had gotten that day 2, I would have found a way to make it not enough in my head, and I would have been like, oh, but like this happened and now I need it again because blah blah blah, you know, instead of like, now I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, like, I literally could have gotten day 2 in Pittsburgh, and like, it sucks that I didn't, but like, when I do get my first day 2, like, it's gonna be gratifying, you know? And I also have to just take the lessons from not getting day 2, because, you know, I didn't necessarily handle it very well. Like, I got pretty pissed off after I lost my round 8, because I literally, like, lost again because of 1 move, just not clicking 1 button. And if anything, it just shows that willingness to win, right? But yeah, I'm enjoying ZA. Like, I think the ranked mechanic is fun in ZA, and like, people who are afraid of the ranked mechanic in ZA overtaking VGC are a little bit misplaced in their concern, in my opinion. Like, I don't really see this battle mechanic ever replacing VGC, and I think it's a valid concern to bring up, right? Because, like, we want the Pokemon Company to know, like, right? Like, please don't replace VGC with this, right? But, like, I don't think they were ever really planning on that in the first place. Like, I don't think it's also worth saying, like, don't ever bring it up until they actually do it, or mention the idea of doing it themselves, right? So, like, what I'm trying to say, like voicing the concern makes sense, but I don't think that it's actually a worthwhile concern, you know? And if the Pokemon Company themselves was to actually take an action that made it seem like they were going to replace VGC with this battle mechanic, I think people would be right to get more mobilized about it, right? But yeah, I think it makes sense that the concern, the dialogue of the concern fell to the wayside, you know? Because, like, if anything, I think they would just do both, you know? Like, I just don't think they would replace VGC with this. I think, if anything, it would be like Unite, where, like, we play VGC, and then, like, if people want to play this type of mechanic, like, there's another section for those people, right? But who knows if they would actually do that, so. Sorry, hold on. if they would do that, I think that would really come down to, yeah, have a good one, Ashley. But I'm just gonna keep talking about it anyways. If they were to replace, or not replace, if they were going to bring this battle mechanic into the competitive scene, whether or not the fear of replacing VGC was valid, I think they would have to like make another game before that was even like a discussion, right? Like, I don't think they would actually bring this game into the competitive scene. Like, if there was a Legends type game, like a third version of the Legends game, with like a slightly more refined battle mechanic, I think they might consider actually bringing it into the competitive scene. And I'd be interested in how they would do that, right? But I don't think that they would actually replace VGC with this interactive mechanic. I think that they would do both. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like I said, like Pokemon Go compared to this. You know, like, which one do you want to register for when you go into the tournament? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah. So obviously I'm kind of just running around and talking right now. Like, I'm not actually even paying attention when I'm doing the game. I'm in some sense clicking like the minimal amount of buttons. I've actually climbed a ladder now for the first time. But yeah, I actually have all the colorful screws and stuff. And yeah, I mean, my real point, if anything, from all my rambling earlier was just, like I said, like, I'm just becoming okay with doing everything at my own pace and not really caring what that might seem like to anyone else, you know, because I don't care what it seems like to anyone else, you know, because it's not about any of that. I just, you know, the channel wasn't really growing as quickly as I would have liked it to for the amount of effort that I was putting in, so I decided that I needed to focus more on other stuff, and I did, you know. I do want to give back to the community still, so I want to get back to it, you know, and I do think this is a good time to make content. I think Legends ZA content is exciting, you know. I actually enjoy watching this game, and watching other people play this ranked content makes me want to make it. So, you know, I do want to kind of get back into content, and it's really just a matter of motivating myself, like, because, like, that's kind of part of it too, you know? Like, I have to actually motivate myself to do it. Okay, so let's shift gears. Let me shut up and stop ranting. Like I said, the only reason I really got into that stuff was that, like, I know I haven't streamed in a while, so I was just thinking about it, and I do want to be a part of the community, you know, and I want to be able to start making content again and not think about it in a way that's like, I'm reinforcing this negative dialogue around myself, you know, by thinking about it too much or something, like, so, yeah, you know, I might come back to it. If I do, it is what it is. And, yeah, so like I said, let's shift gears. Let's talk about kind of what I've been thinking recently with this game. Like, so if we look at the competitive team that I have been using recently. It's actually a team that, I mean, I'd like to say it's because of me. I'm not going to say it like other people can't have come up with the idea on their own, right? You know, because clearly that's possible. But, you know, I was pretty early on as one of the proponents for this team comp, and I think it's just been really cool to see this general comp getting more and more like attention from other people, and it definitely does make me, you know, wonder if I have helped contribute to that. I hope so. It would make me feel good. You know, because like this was the team, this was the core that it was like the core that I started with, you know, when I started rank. It just seemed really good to me, right? In the first season, I was using Clefable, Excadrill, and Clawitzer. And that was what I used pretty much to get like all the way up the rank. I was kind of fumbling with trying Vanillux over Clawitzer at one point, but like I just didn't like the way it was playing compared to Clawitzer, so that was the team I ended up with. And yeah, I mean, I shared it on Twitter like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and I made my first ranked ZA content, I guess, like 10 or so days ago, and you know, we were using this team here, right? And at that point, we still were kind of working on some of the items, mostly, and kind of the movesets a little. Like, I don't know if I had my EVs done all and blah blah blah, but mostly we were working on the items, right? But this was the team that I posted on my channel like 10 days ago or so, and since then, this team or a similar team comp has won quite a few different events. With Thatsa's, you know, royales that he's been doing. So definitely big shout outs to Thatsa. Hold on, let me get back to that. Sorry. Let me get back to the beginning. So yeah, shout outs to Thatsa. Thatsa's a homie. I've always enjoyed Thatsa's content, and you know, is a good sir. You know, I've met him a few times in person, of course. You know, we are acquaintances in some way, shape, or form. And yeah, so it's just been cool to see like what he's been doing to help push for there to be some sort of competitive scene happening right now with this game, right? And so that's has been hosting, I don't know if it's been like weekly or I haven't really been keeping up with it that much, obviously, because I haven't been playing that much, you know. But he's been hosting these tournaments every couple days, and since I posted my Clawitzer video, you know, Clawitzer has had some significant finishes in Thatsa's tournaments, and not only that, it's been this Clawitzer Excadrill plus another third that we've been seeing over and over again. So, you know, I definitely do hope that I in some way contributed to that, you know. It would make me feel good, you know, to know that people appreciate what I'm doing, I guess. I don't know. Or that, like, people thought I had a good idea. But like I said, you know, obviously someone else, it's ideas don't exist in a vacuum, you know. It's not like I'm the only person that could have come up with it. it's just cool to see the Excadrill Clawitzer combo doing well. And so, yeah, we saw Viathan here pulling a win in That's a Royale number 17 with the Lucario, Clawitzer, and Excadrill combo. And then in the That's a Royale number 19, my gang, we had Pelipper getting second place with the Clawitzer Excadrill combo with Charizard as the third, which I think is pretty cool. And then in the That's a Royale number 21, we had I guess this is Pelipper again, just with a different name maybe. Like, because it was like Pelipper and Pelipper Postal. Like, I feel like those are probably the same person if we're being honest. Like, and it's the same team. So, yeah, like, this team has been doing well. And not only that, there's actually like 3 or 4 different iterations of this team in this one tournament in the top 16, which I think is pretty cool. We can see somebody used, there's the Charizard team in first place. Someone used a Talonflame in the 3rd slot for 5th place. Someone used Leafeon in the 3rd slot for 8th place. The Talonflame version got 11th place again. So yeah, you know, I just think that's kind of cool, and I hope that I contributed to that in some way, shape, or form. Because that's pretty much all transpired since I have been like hyping this core up. So, you know, I do think that the version that I was still kind of working out what I felt like were like flaws with the way I was running the team. So I'm sure, like, you know, these people have taken it and updated in their own ways, and, you know, they're running their own items and movesets probably. I know that people are running over Surf on Clawitzer. They're running Aqua Jet or Focus Blast. Focus Blast is just kind of good for like the things that want to freeze dry you. Aqua Jet is good for like just drawing you in towards your opponent. You know, like Clawitzer is kind of slow, so those priority moves are really just good for getting you closer to your opponent when you really need to be. like you click Aqua Jet, you're right next to them, and then you click Surf or Hydro Pump or whatever move you want to click, right? So, like, Aqua Jet makes sense. It is technically also good for if your opponent has, like, red and you just want to get a really quick KO, because it fires off quickly too, right? So if you do think you can just get an Aqua Jet KO, that's good, right? But I personally like running Surf and Hydro Pump because I think, like, it does a lot of damage. And you're not always going to be hitting things for super effective, so, like, being able to click Surf into things and, like, run into multiple opponents and then click Hydro Pump and, like, blast something away for the rest of the damage if you need to. It's nice, right? So I personally think, you know, I'm gonna keep Surf and Hydro Pump. Flash Cannon, I do think I want to replace. Like, I get it. But I think I would much rather have, yeah, like Shadow Ball. Like, Shadow Ball you want to run right now because compared to Dark Pulse, like, it can hit Gardevoir, right? So you actually kind of get more benefit out of running Shadow Ball right now than you get out of Dark Pulse. I know we also saw Austin John picking up on the Clawitzer hype, and I saw him trying the Shadow Ball on Clawitzer, and I was like, that makes sense. Like, it's definitely good. And I forget what version of the team he was using, though. I think it was maybe the Charizard one. I mean, it was either the Charizard one or the Lucario one, but yeah. So Shadow Ball, I'm gonna go get Shadow Ball Plus as well, and I kind of want to try Dig over Drill Run. I might regret that. I'm gonna try it for at least one match, but you know, like I said, we might regret it. And then, yeah, for Xerneas, we were trying Flash Cannon. I really think that Focus Blast is better because it can hit like Excadrill for super effective, and with the way that accuracy works in this game, like Focus Blast is actually, if anything, more accurate. Like, it's one of the more accurate moves. Like it sends out a blob of energy and it goes after the target. You know what I'm saying? Like Focus Blast is accurate in this game and it hits hard. It just has like a high cooldown or whatever, you know. So I'm Team Focus Blast in this game, you know. The way that the mechanics changed have definitely favored things like certain things. Just, you know, things like Focus Blast, Bounce, obviously, you know, Dig. The way that the battle mechanic works has changed what Pokemon are good or what Pokemon need to worry about having. You know what I mean? So, like, now we can be like, well, does speed really matter that much? Like, like, all of a sudden, like, it seems like being slow is actually really good. Like, because now you have all the rest of your stat points to invest in other things, and it really doesn't matter. I clicked on the wrong one. What up, Sass? Hopefully you're still here. I wasn't looking at the chat, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, freaking what's his face? Yeah, Austin John did that Clawitzer video because that's sorry, I heard something outside. Because that's has been doing these tournaments, and my comp has been picking up, is what it is. From my perspective, that's what it seems like, right? Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, heck yeah, like people are picking up my comp, like people are liking what I was thinking of, you know what I mean? So we've been seeing like my Excadrill Clawitzer combo doing really well, and I do think that they pair really well, you know. They're the two pieces of the team that have stuck from between my iterations, you know. Like, I had Clefable the first time, now we're doing Xerneas because Xerneas is just better than Clefable. But like, there's something about just the way that the two of them work really well together. Excadrill just, it has that really like scary burst damage with the Swords Dance, Drill Run, Earthquake, and then pretty much everything that Excadrill doesn't like, you can just switch into Qualtzer, and Qualtzer just, like, because of the way that moves work in this game, like, it just seems like Qualtzer is really good right now. So, you know, they just work well. They work well together, you know? So, it's definitely been cool to see, that my team comp, as I think of it, being adapted by other people, and, you know, them pretty much recognizing that, you know, maybe if we play with the third slot, something will happen, you know? Maybe something will happen. But yeah, hope you're doing well, Sass. We are as boys. Okay. So, something that I want to do really quick is I want to build another team. Because I was thinking about it. So, for some reason, I have one Pokemon in my head that I can't get out of my head, I keep thinking to myself, this thing's good, right? Like, this thing's good. And that Pokemon is Gourgeist. So I don't know. I'm thinking Gourgeist. And then I'm thinking... I guess it's in my party. I'm thinking Gyarados. So I'm thinking Gourgeist and Gyarados. And then... technically you could have like a fire Pokemon as your last. I don't know, I think there's kind of a lot that you can do. Like, I think a ground Pokemon seems good. An electric Pokemon. I was thinking like Electros kind of seems... Electros seems like it could be good. I know that dual screens Ampharos has been kind of popping off, like, so people have been doing like light screen reflect Ampharos, and it's kind of cool. Like, anytime I've seen it, it's like, it like works surprisingly well. But I'm not gonna use that right now. Like, I need to actually build that team if I'm gonna use it. I have all those guys right here, kinda. I need to build that team if I'm gonna use it. And I need to get a oversized Pumpkaboo. I also need someone to do some trading with, so if you're down to do some trading, Sass, that'd be dope. Because I just haven't wanted to go on any of those trading bots or whatever. I don't know. What do you want to call them? Not bots, but like the preset numbers that people are trading. I guess I missed him, and I also misclicked there. Alright, cool, we got that one. Yeah, see, so that's why you click dig second. Or I mean first, not second. Alright, cool. We kind of stole that KO. Cool, and we actually got that KO, which is nice. Where am I? Frick off, Randy. No. I couldn't switch. I had to deal. Ooh, if I had got that off like a second earlier, I would have gotten it. Solid. And that is why I like dig. See, like you can't do that with drill run. You just can't. Like, you can't. And we got first place. You know what I'm saying? It's a convincing first place. And that Focus Blast KO on the Lucario felt good. You know what I'm saying? Like. I felt like I did a good showcase in there. Like, we actually almost got that KO on the Lucario with Pulitzer. It was like, it literally came down to like a couple frames, basically. It was like if this Hydro Pump fires off before the close combat, like, and then he just got off the close combat. So, you know, that is one of the benefits of being faster. You know, like, ultimately, Lucario is faster, and close combat, the way that the move functions fired off in a faster way than Hydro Pump does, right? So, like, in that like face-to-face standoff that we had right there, close combat just was better than Hydro Pump, you know? So that did allow our opponent to get the win on us over Clawitzer, but, you know, it's still good. Like, it just means that it goes back to, like, the different complexities of this battle mechanic. Like, the way that close combat fires off actually made it more advantageous than Hydro Pump. Because Hydro Pump, he, like, charges up, kind of, and then fires it off. And then, close combat, I don't know. Hey, look, is that a quality? Come back. Sorry. I mean, you gotta switch out, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, you're kind of doing it to yourself. And I was crouching, too, which is dumb as... Oh, heck. That sucks, because that came down to... I didn't have my buttons working at the right speed. This'll get it. Yeah, see, I got that one. Okay, so we KO'd each other there, but I still got the KO. God dang it. Did I? Oh no, I did get that. Good. And I got that. Stop crouching, please. Like, jeez. And I got that. Dang it. We're cooking. We are cooking. Alright, I'm just gonna switch back. Nice. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like. It's going better. You know what I'm saying? It's going better. Poodle-oso stoodle. So I do think that the move changes make a big difference. I think Focus Blast over Flash Cannon is a huge difference on Xerneas. Just having the ability after you set up Geomancy to still to hit the Excadrills and the Lucarios that you really don't want to deal with is great. Metagross is not fun, right? But Life Orb Shadow Ball from Clawitzer is not fun for Metagross, right? Excadrill's not fun for Metagross. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of just switch out potential, and we have a really, really good 3. You know what I'm saying? I was considering trying pivoting from the setup Geomancy Xerneas to the setup Screams Xerneas, where, maybe we use Xerneas to quick Light Screens, Reflect, and then we have Moonblast and Focus Blast or Thunderbolt as our last slot. And then we just use those screens as a bulk to allow Excadrill and Clawitzer to do what they want. Because let's be honest, they're the real nuts and bolts of the team, right? But I do think that if you go back and you watch those last 2 matches, Xerneas was popping off, right? So you really can't say that Xerneas isn't a good part of the team. It's just that, Clawitzer and Excadrill do form a core, and just like just like in um, just like in VGC, sometimes you're left saying to yourself, well, I have a good 4 or 5, what's my last best 1 or 2 that really completes the team? And there's not always going to be one best answer to that, right? This is one of those situations, right, where like this time we're only using 3 Pokemon, so like the options are a little smaller, right? But like we have a very definitive strong 2 that I think other people are picking up on now too, right, with the Qualts or Excadrill. And it's kind of just a question of, well, what do we want to use in that 3rd slot? And again, there's not always going to be a right answer. Again, because we're only using 3 Pokemon, there's not this discussion of, well, what 2 Pokemon are the best last? You know, it's just, we just need to find 1 more Pokemon, right? And so technically there could be a definitive best last, right? But that's why playing with movesets and items also throws a wrench into that. There's always going to be diversity, right? And I do think that I do think that no matter what, like Xerneas shows why it's a good contender for that 3rd slot. Like, obviously, we're in the format specifically where Xerneas is allowed, so like try Xerneas, right? But I think it's a little deeper than that, right? Like, I think like Xerneas has actually been doing things, right? And so like it actually is a good alternative if you're not going to be using Charizard or Lucario, right? Because as we demonstrated, like I can literally click Focus Blast, like, and I do see why people like Focus Blast Qualter, but I also felt like having Surf and Hydro Pump was kind of nice. We actually didn't really run into that many scenarios where Surf was useful. It was, I think, it was more versus, it was in close range combat versus things that we're not super effective against, that having Surf and Hydro Pump feels more useful, right? Because, like, in the same way that Drill Run and Earthquake combination becomes a problem for the opponent, like, having both of those stab moves and having both of them do a lot of damage, and one of them being a spread move, you know what I mean? It does make a difference, right? So yeah, in close combat, like versus that Lucario, like we could have 1v1'd that Lucario if we had just gotten off our Hydro Pump before they close combat us. So yeah, let me take a break really quick, I guess would be the way to say it. I'm just gonna like pop into the other room really quick and then I'll be back. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, I know you're probably not here anymore, Sass. So I might as well just wait for you to potentially come back if you are here or were here. But either way, I'm just gonna say it anyways. Yeah, I've been liking your content too recently. I've been really liking this shiny content, so you guys should definitely check out Sassafras' channel. If you don't know the homie, Daily Sassafras. He's been doing some good shiny hunting recently. I've been liking his content a lot, you know? I mean, I've always liked his content, he's my homie. But I'm just saying, like, I've been enjoying the shiny hunting content recently. So Xerneas doesn't really like this match, or this map, as much. Xerneas actually does really like the last map, so I think that's something that's worth saying. Oh geez, screw it. What is that? I literally can't tell what that is. Please stop crouching. Thank you. That's sad. There you freaking go. Pop off. What was that? I don't even know what that was. We just destroyed it. I think I'm locked in. Oh my god, I keep crouching. That's something I need to get out of the habit of. That sucks. I kind of just gave that guy like now he's tied with me. Dang it. Okay, so I think we tied there, and the reason why I didn't get just first place instead of tying was because I keep crouching. And that's my fault. I'm gonna completely own up to that. Like, yeah, okay, so I'm glad that we still at least tied for first, because like if we hadn't, like, it literally would have been my fault for crouching. Cause like I was trying to walk up to him and click Hydro Pump there. You guys saw it, right? And I was like, why am I not getting up to him fast enough to actually do this? Like, and the reason was because I was holding down the stick and I was crouching and I wasn't getting close enough to hit the box, the hitbox to hit Hydro Pump. So that was actually my fault. But I'm glad that we were still able to do it. So yeah, I think that was actually just a really good showcase. Sorry, I burped. I'm going to I want to like work on that other team. I want to work on the other team. As much as I enjoy watching this team just pop off, like, and I actually think like it's been doing so well that I want to keep using it. But I think that's kind of like I can work with that content for now, and I want to try doing something else. Hold on. I always forget that I can mute myself when I'm coughing. Okay, so it does get reflect, right? Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna run light screen reflect, Dragon Pulse, Thunderbolt. Yeah, I actually think that this is a good Gyarados set. We do need bounce, so I need to go figure out where bounce is. There it is. We want bounce, earthquake. We don't really care about Stone Edge. Dragon Rush we want very bad. Yes. So, earthquake, waterfall, bounce, Dragon Rush actually sounds like a very deadly moveset. You can also run, where is it? Ice Fang. Ice Fang is arguably even better than Dragon Rush in certain ways. Because of its cooldown time, I think would really be the thing that makes it better. I think Dragon Rush has just the added benefit of the dodging mechanic. So I think that's something, but yeah. You know, so what I was kind of thinking is I was thinking about maybe running an Assault Vest Gyarados. So I was thinking Assault Vest Gyarados with Ampharos and then just like a grass Pokemon, which in my mind was Phantom or Pumpkaboo, you know. Sorry, I don't know where everything is in this game. What would be a good item for Ampharos. Like, I feel like you can run Mega Ampharos. I also feel like, well, Mega Ampharos is good for if you like really want it to just start popping off for some reason. But besides that, it doesn't really do that much. Other items you could run would be like Leftovers or Shell Bell. I think Shell Bell is a little better than Leftovers in this game because they made the Leftovers recovery timer too long. I think is what people said. Like, you recover a 16th of your health every like 20 seconds or something, which is, it's just, that's way too long. It's got to be like 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Like so you gotta boost those numbers. You know, if you want the item to actually be useful. So let's sorry. Okay, there you go. I'm just the screen is small, so I can't really see what I'm doing. Sorry, I have controller drift, so it makes doing this more difficult. It makes doing this like 5 times more difficult. Cause like, I kinda just wanna... I'm just trying to look at my IVs, that's all I'm doing. Okay, so clearly we are pretty misinvested here. We need to take some away. Would you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you just stop with side scrolling? I wish it was me. I wish it was me doing it. So yeah, we'll change that to adamant. We'll take the investment away from the special attack and put it into something else, I guess. Because this is a Alpha Gorgeist, it should be max size. So that means that if I want to actually use one, then this is the right one. Cool. We're doing so good here. You know what I'm saying? Like so I just gotta get, I just gotta attack train. You go sit, be a placeholder. Be a good placeholder. Can you buy irons in this game? Like, I don't even remember if there's a place where you can buy them. You can probably just go to the mart. Go to the mart. Okay, so, let me look at my Gyarados, Gyarados real quick. Okay, so I have 13 berries, which I can use to work on my void Gyarados. I'm assuming you guys can't hear the TV on, but doesn't matter. My TV, or I mean my dog was looking at the TV, but we got UFC on. I don't want to overuse these, so I'm just going to go sequentially. Okay, so that was 12, which is quite a lot. Yeah, so we can use 11 proteins, and we can actually use 11 proteins, which means like I might want to just do that. I was hoping to make it a little bit bulkier. It's a really weird spread. I wish I knew what it was. I'm just gonna give it the proteins. And then... Okay, so we just maxed it out. And I don't think it was really worth fussing over the 1 or 2 extra HP. So we do that. We go get an adamant. We also want a adamant for our boy here. There it is. So the adamant for Gorgeist. I like how I'm calling it the adamant. And then we just max out his attack, whatever. Then we're gonna run let's see, change news. So we've got Phantom Force. Hypnosis sucks in this game. Bullet Seed is kind of tight. It's definitely tighter than these moves right now. Adds Ghost Type to the target. Bro. Oh my god. Dude, that might be just a game ender in this game. Like, you just make your opponent a ghost type and then you just click Phantom Force. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, Shadow Sneak for the win. This might actually be cracked, I'm gonna be honest. Like, just Trick or Treat, Shadow Sneak, Phantom Force, Power Whip. Like, don't even need anything else. Rock Slide. Rock Slide. Okay, Rock Slide will be the move that replaces Shadow Sneak, if anything, I would say. We also could run Explosion, Cool Ghost. We could also run Sludge Bomb. No, we don't want Sludge Bomb. Explosion could be a move for sure. Will-O-Wisp is a tactic for sure. I'm gonna say that. I like the way that moves work in this game. You know, it's just, or I like the way that moves work differently, you know. Fire Spin. We could have Fire Spin. We could just create that spot on the field that's like, don't step there. You know what I'm saying? So this could actually be a real Chaos Pokemon. I'm thinking we might even just run Explosion too. Like, honestly, might even just run in there on Emif. Click Explosion. I'm just saying. It looks so fun. Dude, I actually think this is gonna pop off. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I hope it does. Hold on. Let me ramp back around really quick and talk about this team, because I feel like I was being too rambly earlier, so let me do another talk about this team. Alright, so this is the team we are going to be using for a couple matches, right? This is kind of the team that I've been hyping up since the very beginning of the release of Legends ZA, I guess I would say. You know, originally we had Clefable on this team, and we climbed to Master Ball tier, or whatever you want to call it, rank A, in this game with that. And then, now that, you know, we're in Series 2 or whatever, we're trying Xerneas. And I think Xerneas has definitely been proving to be a good utility on the team, a good third slot. But we've also been seeing some other people using this core, which is cool, you know. I like to think that I might have contributed to that, right, since I've been, you know, hyping this team comp up. But I'm not gonna say it had to be me that was, you know, the one who was inspiring other people to do it. You know, I hope people might have taken inspiration from me. But yeah, so I made a video with this team like 10 or 11 days ago on my channel, and since then we've seen versions of this team doing really well in That's a Plus Ones tournaments. So That's has been running some I don't know if it's like weekly. I think it's been maybe like even like every few days. I haven't been like playing enough to keep that informed on how often he's been doing it, you know, but I see when he posts the results, and I've just noticed that over the past couple tournaments he's hosted, the team comp has actually been picking up, which I just think is cool, you know. So we can see here in the most recent tournament, this homie Pelipper Postal won the tournament with Excadrill and Qualtzer with the Charizard as the hanging third slot. And then in 5th place here we have a Talonflame in the 3rd slot. In 8th place we have a Leafeon. And then in 11th place we have Talonflame again. So yeah, the core definitely seems like it's kind of picking up. We actually have a Excadrill, Xerneas, Charizard team. Excadrill, Xerneas, Greninja. So people also using the other 2 of the core, but, you know, maybe to less success. But I just think it's been cool to see, right? And then if we look at, you know, his Royale number 17, this person, Viathan, won with a Lucario in the 3rd slot. And then in That's a Royale number 19, Pelipper again got 2nd place with that Charizard. So, you know, it's just been cool to see the team and the team idea getting some visibility from other people and them showing that it does have the potential to get results. And yeah, just taking their own spin on it, I guess, you know, because they're obviously experimenting with their other 3rd slots and probably trying their own items and movesets, you know. So one of the things I talked about when I was going over this team earlier is that, you know, now we have Focus Blast instead of Flash Cannon, which I think really helps deal with things like Excadrill and Lucario. I'm experimenting with Dig actually over Drill Run. I think it has a certain level of utility that Drill Run just doesn't provide, whether it's allowing you to dodge moves or just allowing you to get into your opponent. You know, so I think they just play differently and are good for their own reasons, right? So I want to try that, and if anything, I think there's actually kind of argument for dropping Iron Head and literally just running an all ground moves Excadrill, just Drill Run, Dig, Earthquake, and just like go, and you just have to like know that, you know, in the face of something like Xerneas, you know, you don't have that Iron Head to feel more comfortable. You just kind of have to spam your like Dig, Drill Run, and then the Earthquake, right? So it is doable, right? But I actually like this moveset. And then the Qualtzer, yeah, I actually think I did a pretty good job talking about this earlier, so maybe I won't feel like I need to reuse the new recorded discussion of the team. But you know, people I think are mostly just using like Aqua Jet or Focus Blast over the Surf slot, and I had Flash Cannon over Shadow Ball originally, but I actually like Shadow Ball. It really helps hit Metagross and things. So yeah, I did a good job going over this earlier, so maybe I'll just keep that version of the discussion. I'll look over it. So let's just take one last look at this this weird EV spread here. Yeah, like that's not good. And I do have enough tomato berries to deal with it, so okay. I almost forgot what time it is. It's not that late. It's only 10:30, but I'm actually usually doing this quite a bit later. Or I'm used to this going on for quite a while later. I'm just gonna start right off the bat with like 10. I think that's enough. Did I do the wrong one? That sucks. I did the wrong one. Maybe that's good though. Okay, well, I know that I want to go buy some calciums, so let's do that. Excuse me. I'd really like if my controller drift would stop. Okay, so I do think that maxing out special attack probably more important, I guess. I don't know. So we'll do that first. Do that. Get it and adamant. Sorry, I haven't been looking at the chat, by the way. I mean, no one has said anything, so it's fine. But I'm not looking. I'm not looking, I'm not looking. So, this is going to be interesting to try this team because it's going to be a huge adjustment from the way that I've been playing, right? Like, this is going to be completely different than what we've been doing. Might be good, but it's definitely going to be different. So, we're doing the Pumpkaboo lead. Oh, I didn't actually want to lead Pumpkaboo. I want to try leading Pumpkaboo. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I want to see what this thing does. So, like, let me do the intro again, and then we'll get to the team. Right? I'm excited to try this for a couple matches before we end the recording or the stream for the day. So this is my second Legend ZA team. I'm gonna keep making ZA content for you guys. I actually really like the way this game plays. And I don't guarantee this team's gonna do as good as my last one, you know? But yeah, I do want to keep making content for you guys, because like I said in the last one, like, I do actually really enjoy watching this type of, like, this game. I enjoy watching ZA content, and like watching people like That's and my friend like Sass, you know. play this game in various forms, whether it's shiny hunting or ranked content, has just, yeah, reminded me that, like, I can make content too, you know? Like, I enjoy sharing my takes on the teams, and, you know, it's okay for me to get back into it at my own pace, and if my own pace is that I want to get back into it, that's my pace, right? So, you know, we can do that, and I appreciate those of you who are, you know, taking it play by play with me, right? And, ooh, Gourgeist looks like it would actually be a really good Assault Vest Pokemon when you look at its stats, but, this Trick or Treat's gonna be really fun. I'm feeling it. So, yeah, getting into talking about the team instead of just the fact that, you know, I want to keep making content for you guys because I actually do enjoy watching this content, and I think it makes me excited to make content again. Like, is kind of what I'm trying to say, you know? So, like, watching people play this has made me want to kind of get back into doing content, and I appreciate those of you who understand that I'm doing that at my own pace. But talking about the team, like, here we have a Life Orb Gourgeist with Trick or Treat, Phantom Force, Power Whip, and Explosion with Life Orb. So the idea of what we're going for here is really that I'm almost always going to be clicking Trick or Treat, Phantom Force, and I might take Explosion off for Shadow Sneak because of that. However, you know, we'll see. I actually think Explosion Life Orb is kind of fun and might be kind of clutch sometimes. So, going on, we have Assault Vest Gyarados, which should just be kind of a tank, with Waterfall, Bounce, Earthquake, and Dragon Rush. I think we could maybe argue for changing Dragon Rush for either Ice Fang or like Crunch or something, but I think Dragon Rush is interesting for the dodge mechanic, so, you know, we'll see what happens there. And then here we have Ampharos with Setup. So in this first match, I'm going to try leading Pumpkaboo because I want to just try the Trick or Treat Phantom Force with Life Orb, but I actually think the way this team's probably going to function is going to be to start Ampharos, click Light Screen Reflect, and then switch into like Gourgeist or Gyarados, and then either do the Trick or Treat Phantom Force strat or just like do Gyarados things. So I'm really excited to see how this team plays, and I just want to start by leading Pumpkaboo just because, like, it's Pumpkaboo. So, like I said, I'm interested to see what happens here. The Pootis. I'm gonna have to get used to where my moves are. I know B is my Trick or Treat, and then Y is my Phantom Force, so that's what we're doing. Okay, that sucks because I kind of gave that KO to them. Just do it. Just do it. There you go. Jeez. Stop being slow. Stop being slow. Okay, so Gourgeist is definitely slow. We are seeing that. I also did not click that in the right order, which sucked. So we don't have a good Xerneas answer on this team. Is what it feels like right now. This KOs. That sucks. Okay, so I'm gonna have to definitely think about that because, like, I just missed a pretty crucial KO there. Where am I? What am I doing? Okay, so Pumpkaboo is doing nothing. Pumpkaboo is not the sauce. Nice. That sucked so bad. So let's try Shadow Sneak. I think Shadow Sneak is probably the thing we're missing here. We still got second place, but that was atrocious. And I also did not use my Gyarados well at all. Sorry, my controller's just tweaking out. Okay, so we got Shadow Sneak, and then we want to move this. Okay. Yeah, it seemed like something happened. So the fact that we missed that KO on Xerneas is very unfortunate and kind of says something. Like, we got the Trick or Treat Phantom Force and then still missed a KO on Xerneas by, like, just a sliver. And you really don't want to do that, so. I do think the Trick or Treat's cool, but we're gonna kind of have to work on that. Okay, so this is a good map for setting up. Death. Okay. So that wasn't too bad. We were kind of cooking there. Okay, so we're definitely having some very, like, specific things happen over and over again. Like, we're staying in it, right? Like, it's not over. But we keep having, like, very specific errors happen again with this team that, like, weren't happening. That, like, I was having early on with the last team, I guess I would say. And that's, like, targeting problems. That sucks. I think I got this. Yeah! A win for Pumpkaboo. Gorgeist. So I'm gonna be honest, this team is like, it feels kind of trash, like, but it can do things, like, if anything, I think I'm playing it poorly, and, like, I'm having the problem that I had in my first round of making content for this game, where, like, I was holding down the lock-on button so I wasn't locking on. And so, like, we were seeing me, like, trying to use moves in that one, and I was like, it's not using a move, it's not using a move, right? Like, because I'm already holding the use a move button before it, like, is registering that I can try to use a move again, right? So, yeah. Gorgeist is frustrating. Gorgeist is frustrating. We didn't click Shadow Sneak at all, so that's something I'm gonna have to play with, is I'm gonna try clicking Shadow Sneak first, see if it gets me really close to them, like Aqua Jet, you know, and then do Trick or Treat stuff. So this is my favorite map, if I'm being honest. I just like the way it plays. Jeez. Yeah, I couldn't do anything. How's out of switches? So that actually went better than I expected. We were like on the field for way longer than I thought we would be. Lock onto anything. Nice. Oh, I didn't get that KO. That sucks. I think he clicked overheat right when I got next to him or something. That sucks. I might have just gave him first place by doing that. Well, no, because he just got a double KO. Never mind. Okay, well, I mean, 2 second places and a first place. I think this team feels really clunky. The idea is there. My execution is not there, for sure. The targeting ranges and the speed at which these Pokemon move is something that I'm not used to at all. So like we saw Gyarados kind of just moving slower than I expected it to. We saw Gourgeist moving very slow. I didn't really give Explosion its chance, so that's something to think about. And the Ampharos, when it got its chance to shine, actually did shine, I think. The screens makes a difference. It definitely does live in Earthquake with Reflect up. At one point, I clicked Light Screen before Reflect and then got hit by an Earthquake before the Reflect got up, so that was my fault. Sorry. But we saw when I did end up using it, like the Thunderbolt Dragon Pulse combo, Dragon Pulse combo, sorry, was actually, you know, sniping things when I needed it to. So it wasn't like terrible. It was just really awkward feeling to use. So, fun stuff, you know. We'll give it a shot with another, maybe like, maybe try fixing the team up for one more round of matches again, like we did with the last team, but maybe we'll just move on to something else. So I don't know, but hope you guys enjoyed. And obviously consider subscribing if you're not already. I appreciate it. I don't really say that a lot, but you know, I gotta remember that it's okay to say it. So yeah, thank you guys for being here, and I hope you enjoyed. And to those of you who came to the stream, thank you. So yeah.